Hello, my name is Ian Glover and I'm President of CREST International. It's been about 4 months since we launched the restructured version of the CREST Australasian region, and we felt it was about time that we came forward and actually provided some information about the progress we've made and some of the positive feedback we've had in terms of the activities we've put in place and some of the mechanisms we have put in place and are still planning to do so. The whole emphasis behind this is to make sure there's consistency across the globe in terms of both CREST membership for organisations, but also certificates that are issued for individuals. Again, that consistency is a really important factor for us because it opens up marketplaces and allows organisations and individuals to work both domestically and international within the marketplace. On a company membership perspective, then what we've done is we've opened up all of the classes of CREST membership to all of the CREST Australasia members. So this means not only penetration testing, which has been historically available within Australia and New Zealand, but in addition to that, what we've done is we've introduced the concept of having membership in terms of threat intelligence from a cybersecurity perspective, cybersecurity incident response, and also we're now doing quite a lot of SOC accreditation. We're working with our international members as well, looking at other membership classes. We're very shortly going to launch something on vulnerability analysis. And we have quite a lot of work looking at some of the more disruptive type delivery methods to understand what we're doing in terms of things like bug bounty programs, what we're doing in terms of crowdsourcing penetration testing, and what we're doing looking at advanced vulnerability analysis type techniques and tools. So really what we're trying to do is to ensure that our members remain current and consistent in terms of the delivery, and the buying community understands exactly what it is they're getting. From a company membership perspective, then that independent assessment is viewed internationally as being an extremely positive thing and something that must be endorsed to move forward. That actually allows faster negotiations and collaboration with the buying community because they're already operating on preferred supplier lists, and it gives a central register that people can go to for trusted organisations to be able to provide those types of services. In addition to that, we're providing additional advice and guidance. We're helping organisations to grow and structure, and very importantly, we're opening up both domestic and international markets to those organisations. Since we launched 4 months ago, we've had 5 organisations that are specifically addressing the Australian marketplace in particular. Those organisations have gone through the full accreditation process and have passed what we believe is a very high hurdle in terms of demonstrating their knowledge, skill and competence as an organisation, and having in place structured policies, processes and procedures that both help them to deliver the service in an effective way, but also provide a great deal of confidence to the buying community. In addition to those 5 organisations, in total there's now 25 organisations that are providing CREST services in the Australasian marketplace. The reason for that difference between the 5 and the 25 is really looking at some of our international offering. So what we're now seeing is both the international service providers that are already operating in region are now recognised under the CREST scheme. But in addition to that, there are new organisations coming into the marketplace which we believe will help to improve the overall quality of service and give a wider differentiation in terms of the services that are being delivered to the clients. The membership side of things we believe is a very important aspect, and we believe tied together with our codes of conduct and codes of ethics, we believe that's a really important aspect in terms of providing confidence to the buying community. Obviously, the next element that we look at very closely is our qualifications. Again, historically in the Australasian region, we've only been able to offer a limited number of our penetration testing exams. Now we have the full suite. So we have examinations in both penetration testing, but also cybersecurity threat intelligence, where we have a whole career pathway in terms of the certifications that are available in that space. We're also looking at some of the aspects in terms of incident response. We have intrusion analysis, and very importantly for some of the regulated environments, we have things for simulated targeted attack and response. So really these are looking at critical national infrastructure type activities that require a greater level of skill and a greater level of understanding to mitigate any potential risks associated. All of our examinations will be available in Australia, and so far what we've done is we've made sure that all of our base level entry, all of the practitioner level exams are available through Pearson VUE centres throughout the region. But also we've now got access to delivering a wider range of examinations already. So most of our registered ones are now available, and we're moving forward with access to our certified level examinations. We've upskilled some of the existing assessors that we've already been using in Australia for some time, and what we're now doing is to make sure that we're actually expanding that pool of individuals that can run those types of examinations and can also mark the outputs. What we're doing from that perspective as well is making sure that we can deliver in multiple areas within the Australasian region. Previously, everybody had to go to a centre in Canberra to be able to take the exams. That's still going to be open, but we've delivered and implemented mobile rigs now which allow us to deliver services in Melbourne, Sydney and also some of the other areas within the Australasian region. The idea behind that is we can take a mobile rig, we can take it into a controlled environment, connect on to some of our central services that are available in the CREST community, and therefore we can run those examinations anywhere. And I think, again, given the size and the geography, I think that's a very important thing from an Australasian perspective. Those rigs have been tested, and what we're doing now is to ensure that there's no latency issues, and so we can deliver those services in a very structured way. We already have in the region of 170 individuals that carry CREST qualifications that CREST International recognises within Australasia, and what we're seeing is that number is actually increasing quite significantly. And I think with the flexibility in terms of how we're delivering the examinations, I think that's going to only improve. What we've also been doing is to make sure that there are structures in place that allow us to manage and make sure there's consistency within the marketplace. We've already put aside quite a significant budget in terms of marketing activities, and what we're looking at doing is running a CREST Con in the Australasian regions early next year. We already have some plans in place about where that would operate and how that would look like, but that again helps us because it mirrors some of the things we already have in terms of EMEA, where we run our CREST Con in the UK. And also what we're doing with CRESTCon in Southeast Asia. So from my perspective, that ability to extend that significantly in terms of making available information, I think is very good too. And coming back to those regions, it's quite interesting, I think, as well, because I think the number in terms of 170 qualified individuals is actually a slight understatement, because we know that some of the organisations and some of the members are already sending people for the higher level examinations across to Singapore to take them. And what we're now doing is to make sure that we can replicate that within the Australasian marketplace. We're not only doing that, we are organising what we believe is a really good management structure. We're starting by providing support to some of the individuals. Nigel in particular is fantastic in terms of supporting our activities in the region. But what we're also doing is requesting people to put themselves forward to actually help us with running the executive on an Australasian basis. We believe that's very important. The representation should come from the local community. Those are the people that understand the market best, and those are the people that we should be supporting directly. So we've done quite a lot putting in place the governance necessary to do that, and we're going through the process of identifying individuals, and ultimately we'll go through election processes to make sure those individuals are selected by the members and actually therefore are supporting and representative of the industry to which they're operating. We're also extending quite a lot of the work we're doing in terms of our research activities. CREST has always been very good at doing IPR-free and free research on a collaborative basis. And what we're now doing is some of the research activities, for example, in bug bounty programs and some of the other things we're doing, looking at some of the network accreditation aspects. We're now starting to run more globally inclusive type collaborative research. So what we're doing is we're running research activities and face-to-face. We're recording the outputs from that, and then we're running international webinars at different points in time. Again, what we're trying to do therefore is not just take a domestic view of any of the issues we believe the industry faces. What we're trying to do is to make sure there is collaboration on an international basis, and we represent our buying community, but also we represent the supply community in a very structured way. We haven't quite got there with everything we wanted to do in the Australasian region, but the next steps are really to reinforce that. So we are further enhancing what we're doing in terms of looking at the benefits we can provide to our member companies, which we believe is very strong anyway, and that would encourage take-up of the membership. We will be trying to influence the buying community to make sure they understand what they're doing and making sure they can buy the range of services that our members are providing, not just penetration testing, but through incident response, the provision of SOC services, the provision of penetration testing from a vulnerability analysis perspective, etc. So that extension we believe is very good. We're making sure that all of our qualifications are available to anybody and they're consistently applied on a global basis, and that allows the transient opportunities for people to work in different regions, but also provides domestic opportunity as well as international opportunity for both the companies and the individuals. And then on the research side, what we're trying to do is to make sure that we are taking the views from everybody. And obviously the Australasian region is actually quite mature in a lot of this work. And what we want to do is to understand best practice and make sure that's providing in a consistent way. And then we have collaborative research produced IPR free and free to anybody who wants to consume it. We'd very much like to see more people within our community, and what we're trying to do in that is extend that through our YouTube channel. So the CREST Advocate YouTube channel has already got around about 400 hours worth of professional content available on it, and what we'd like to do is to see more of that from the Australasian region. So anybody who wants to provide content that we can put onto those areas, we believe we can provide an extremely good platform for actually facilitating that. So I hope we're moving in the right direction. The positive feedback we've had from individuals who can now take the full range of exams, I think is very positive. What we're seeing from the company membership perspective is people can really see the benefits associated with the CREST International community, and therefore already deriving benefits in those areas. Very importantly, from the buying perspective, I think it provides consistency both on a domestic and an international stage. And what we're trying to do is to open up marketplaces from the bottom end through basic cyber hygiene right the way up to critical national infrastructure review. And I believe that's a very important thing. And then finally, we as a community should be more collaborative in terms of the way we operate and our research activities and our ventures to try to make sure, for example, the industry is open and inclusive, we believe is an industry-wide issue. And therefore, to just look at this from an individual regional country level, we don't think is correct. What we have to do is work collaboratively as an industry on a global basis to solve global cybersecurity related problems. Thank you very much indeed.